Have you ever heard of a secret society so powerful, so ancient, that it could hold the keys to the past, present, and future of humanity? A group formed over 2 millennia ago, tasked with protecting knowledge so potent it could destroy the world in the wrong hands. Today, we're diving deep into the legend of the 9 unknown men of ancient Bharat. The story begins with one of the most powerful emperors in Indian history, Ashoka the Great. In the 3rd century BCE, Ashoka waged a brutal war against the kingdom of Kalinga. The devastation was immense, with over 100,000 lives lost. The sight of the battlefield, stained with blood and filled with sorrow, transformed the emperor. He renounced violence, embraced Buddhism, and dedicated his life to peace and the welfare of his people. But Ashoka was a pragmatist. He understood that human knowledge, especially scientific knowledge, was a double-edged sword. It could be used to build and heal, or to wage wars even more horrific than the one he had just witnessed. He realized that simply destroying knowledge wasn't the answer. Instead, it needed to be preserved, curated, and protected from those who would misuse it. And so, according to legend, Emperor Ashoka founded the most exclusive secret society in history, the 9 Unknown Men. He gathered 9 of the most brilliant minds in his empire, each a master in a specific field of knowledge. Their mission was to collect, catalog, and advance crucial scientific and philosophical knowledge, but to keep it hidden from the general public until humanity was mature enough to handle it. Each of the 9 was entrusted with a book, a living, breathing repository of knowledge in their respective fields. These weren't just dusty old scrolls. They were constantly updated by successive generations of the 9. The membership was self-perpetuating. When one member retired or passed away, the remaining 8 would carefully select a worthy successor, ensuring the society and its sacred duty would continue through the ages. So, what were these 9 books of forbidden knowledge? Let's explore each one. The first book was dedicated to propaganda and psychological warfare. It's said to contain the most powerful techniques for influencing mass opinion and controlling entire populations. Think about it in an age before mass media. Understanding how to shape public perception would be the ultimate tool of power. It's a chilling thought, realizing that the principles of modern propaganda might have roots in this ancient, secret text. The second book dealt with physiology. This volume supposedly held the secrets to life and death itself. It described how to perform the touch of death, a martial arts technique that could cause death with a simple touch by reversing the nerve impulse. It is also rumored to contain knowledge of the human body that modern science is only now beginning to rediscover, including secrets to longevity and healing. Next up, the third book, Microbiology. This is where it gets truly fascinating. Remember, this society was supposedly formed over 2,000 years before Louis Pasteur discovered microorganisms. Yet, this book is said to contain detailed knowledge of bacteria, viruses, and even early forms of biotechnology and vaccination. The legends say that the sacred waters of the Ganges River, known for its mysterious self-purifying properties, were secretly treated with special microbes cultivated by the 9. The fourth book was on alchemy, the transmutation of metals. But this wasn't just about turning lead into gold. The book allegedly explored the fundamental nature of matter and energy. Some theories suggest it contained knowledge about the structure of atoms and the principles of nuclear energy, knowledge that would be catastrophic if released prematurely. The legend even whispers that during times of famine or drought, temples and aid organizations would mysteriously receive large quantities of high-quality gold from an unknown source. Perhaps the work of the 9? Book 5 covered communication, both terrestrial and extraterrestrial. Yes, you heard that right. This volume reportedly contained methods to communicate with beings from other worlds. It suggests that the 9 were aware of an alien presence and believed it was crucial to keep this knowledge secret to prevent mass panic or exploitation. It's a mind-bending idea that connects ancient wisdom with modern UFO phenomena. The 6th book was dedicated to gravitation. It's said to contain the secrets of anti-gravity and the instructions for building a Vimana, the legendary flying machines described in ancient Indian epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata. Imagine a society holding the keys to flight and space travel thousands of years before the Wright brothers. This knowledge would have fundamentally altered the course of human history. Book 7 is perhaps the most mysterious, Cosmogony. This volume dealt with the vastness of the universe, containing theories on the origin of the cosmos, the nature of time, and the possibility of parallel universes and time travel. It's the kind of knowledge that challenges the very foundation of our reality, stuff that modern theoretical physics is still grappling with today. The 8th book was about light. It focused on the nature of light and how to manipulate it. This includes using light as a weapon, creating lasers, and even achieving invisibility by bending light waves. The potential military applications of such technology are staggering, which is precisely why Ashoka would have wanted it kept under lock and key. And finally, the 9th book, Sociology. This book was the ultimate guide to the rise and fall of civilizations. It outlined the laws governing the evolution of societies and contained methods for predicting their future. By understanding these patterns, the 9 could subtly intervene to prevent societal collapse or guide humanity toward a more stable future. It was the linchpin that held the purpose of the entire society together. For centuries, the 9 unknown men operated in complete secrecy. Their identities, their locations, and their work remained a total mystery. They were ghosts in the annals of history, silently guiding humanity from the shadows. The story might have ended there, a forgotten legend, if not for a man named Talbot Mundy. In 1923, Mundy, a British writer, published a book called The 9 Unknown. This novel brought the ancient legend into the modern world, captivating readers with its tale of a secret society protecting ancient, powerful knowledge. Mundy claimed his story was based on real accounts and folklore he had gathered during his time in India. His book sparked a new wave of interest, and people began to wonder, could the 9 unknown men still be out there? The evidence is, of course, circumstantial. There are no official records, no artifacts we can point to and say, this came from the 9, but the legend persists. Some point to the sudden, inexplicable leaps in scientific knowledge throughout history as possible evidence of the 9 releasing information when they deemed humanity was ready. Think about the Renaissance, the scientific revolution, the sudden explosion of technology in the 20th century. Could these have been subtly orchestrated? When a brilliant mind like Leonardo da Vinci or Nikola Tesla had a groundbreaking idea that seemed to come from nowhere, was it pure genius? Or was it a seed planted by a member of this ancient order? The legend of the 9 unknown men is a powerful reminder that knowledge is power. It forces us to ask critical questions. If such a society existed, would they be a force for good? A silent guardianship protecting us from our own self-destructive tendencies? Or would they be an unelected, unaccountable power, manipulating the course of history for their own ends? It's a captivating thought experiment. In an age of information overload, where knowledge is just a click away, the idea of a group dedicated to curating and protecting it seems almost quaint. 73 BC, with Emperor Ashoka of the Mauryan dynasty. In his early years, Ashoka was known as Ashoka the Fierce. He was a ruthless conqueror, driven by ambition to expand his empire across the entire Indian subcontinent. His reign reached a bloody climax with the Kalinga War, a conflict so devastating it said that over 100,000 soldiers were killed, and countless civilians were lost. The battlefield ran red. When Ashoka surveyed the aftermath of his victory, he wasn't filled with pride. He was horrified. The immense suffering he had caused transformed him completely. He renounced violence, converted to Buddhism, and dedicated the rest of his life to peace, compassion, and the welfare of his people. He became known as Ashoka the Great, but this profound change came with a heavy realization. Ashoka understood that human intellect, the very thing that drives innovation and progress, could also be used for immense destruction. Science, technology, and knowledge in the wrong hands could lead to horrors even worse than the Kalinga War. This is where the legend of the 9 unknown men begins. To prevent humanity from destroying itself with its own genius, Ashoka decided to form a secret society. He gathered 9 of the most brilliant minds in all of India's scientists, philosophers, and thinkers. Their mission was to collect, preserve, and protect all advanced knowledge, keeping it hidden from the world until humanity was mature enough to handle it responsibly. These 9 individuals became the original 9 unknown men. Each of the 9 was tasked with guarding a specific book of knowledge. These weren't just ordinary books, they were living encyclopedias, constantly updated and added to by each successive generation of the 9. The society was designed to be immortal. When one member retired or passed away, a worthy successor, chosen for their intelligence and moral character, would take their place. This ensured the continuity of their sacred mission through the centuries. So, what knowledge were they protecting? The legend says each of the 9 books covered a different, potentially world-altering subject. The first book was about propaganda and psychological warfare. It contained techniques to control the minds of the masses, manipulate public opinion, and influence entire populations. In the hands of a tyrant, this knowledge could be the most dangerous weapon of all, allowing them to rule without firing a single shot. The second book dealt with physiology. It held the secrets of the human body, including the knowledge of the touch of death. It is said to detail how to kill a person simply by reversing a nerve impulsive martial art technique that sounds like something straight out of a movie, but was believed to be real. This book would also contain knowledge of healing and extending life. The third book was on microbiology. Imagine understanding viruses, bacteria, and the secrets of biotechnology 2,000 years before Louis Pasteur. The book is said to contain information on creating and curing diseases, and even includes details on vaccines. The potential for both biowarfare and miraculous cures is staggering. The fourth book was dedicated to alchemy, the transmutation of metals. While we often think of alchemy as turning lead into gold, the legend suggests it was about much more. It could be about manipulating the fundamental properties of matter, which has deep connections to modern chemistry and physics. The fifth book covered communication, but not just any communication. This book detailed how to communicate with extraterrestrial beings. It suggests that Ashoka and his advisors were aware of life beyond Earth and believed it was crucial to control who made first contact. The sixth book focused on gravitation. It supposedly contained the secrets to building a Vimana, the flying machines described in ancient Indian texts. This book would hold the principles of anti-gravity and advanced aerospace engineering, centuries before Newton or Einstein. The seventh book was about cosmology. This wasn't just stargazing, it was the knowledge of the universe itself. It's said to contain information on the true nature of time and space, including the secrets to time travel and navigating other dimensions. The eighth book was about light. It detailed how to control the speed of light and use it as a weapon. Think laser technology, invisibility, and manipulating the very fabric of reality by bending light. And finally, the ninth book was on sociology. It contained the rules for the evolution of societies and how to predict their rise and fall. With this knowledge, one could guide the entire course of human civilization or orchestrate its collapse. For centuries, the 9 unknown men operated in complete secrecy. They were a myth, a whisper among scholars, but stories of their influence occasionally surfaced. It's said that Pope Sylvester II, who lived in the 10th century, spent time in India and may have had access to some of their knowledge, bringing back strange devices and advanced concepts to Europe. The legend gained significant popularity in the modern era thanks to a 1923 book by Talbot Mundy, titled The 9 Unknown. Mundy claimed his story was based on real accounts he had heard while serving as a police officer in India. He wrote that the 9 were still active, subtly releasing information to the world when they felt humanity was ready. They might inspire a scientist here, or leak a formula there, guiding our progress from the shadows. Is it possible? Could some of our greatest scientific breakthroughs have been a gift from this ancient society? Think about the sudden leaps in technology we've seen. Could the knowledge for these advancements have been sitting in a hidden library for thousands of years? Skeptics, of course, dismiss the story as pure fiction, a fascinating blend of history, myth, and wishful thinking. There's no concrete archaeological or historical evidence to prove the existence of the 9 unknown men. The story relies entirely on legend and anecdotal accounts. It's easy to see it as a romantic tale, a comforting thought that someone wise is looking out for us. But what if it's true? What if there's a group of guardians out there, holding the keys to our future? The legend of the 9 unknown men forces us to ask some profound questions. Is humanity truly ready for limitless knowledge? Do we have the wisdom to wield godlike power without destroying ourselves? Perhaps the greatest lesson from this legend isn't about secret knowledge, but about our own responsibility. The 9 unknown men represent the ideal of wisdom guiding power, a principle we desperately need in our world today. Whether they are real or just a story, the legend serves as a powerful reminder. It tells us that knowledge is a double-edged sword, and with great power comes the greatest responsibility. Maybe one day, humanity will prove itself worthy, and the 9 will finally reveal themselves. Or maybe they are already among us, watching, waiting, and guiding us toward a better future. What do you think? Is the story of the 9 unknown men a historical fact hidden in legend, or a brilliant piece of fiction? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mysteries from history.